You know, May the 4th happened recently. The 4th of May, which was what? What day is it? That happened 6 days ago, less than a week. And because it's May the 4th, you have to watch a Star Wars movie. And so, we did, me and my family did. But of course, my brother decided to pick, of all Star Wars movies, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I was not excited to watch this movie. And after watching it, I am just left disappointed. Just utterly saddened. Because, while I'm going to say it now, I do like The Rise of Skywalker. It's not a good movie. It is a really bad movie. But I find it hilarious, the plot choices they made, the the fan theories they went with, the fact that they tried to undo Episode 8 completely. It's so bonkers, so stupid, so unbelievably dumb that I just love the fact that it was actually made, that they actually went for it. But man, watching it, oh my gosh, I was just left disappointed. Just like, there is so much potential in this movie. So much potential in the sequels that was absolutely wasted. Ah. Just why? Why? There are so many cool concepts in that movie. I mean, you have, for starters, the Knights of Ren. You know, that weird cult thing that kind of follows us around, Kylo Ren. They were obviously teased in The Force Awakens, and we thought they were going to be something very special. They were like a bunch of Force users, we all thought, maybe a bunch of Inquisitor 2.0s. Ooh, what are they going to do? Are they going to team up with Kylo? Are they going to face off all against Rey and take her down? What's going to happen? Are they some special forces unit? Nope, they're just a bunch of random dudes that kind of follow around. Kylo Ren. Kind of lame. And they get their butts kicked at the end by him when he turns good, so... yeah, that's kind of wasted. We have Palpatine returning. Why did Palpatine return? Why? The entire point of Palpatine dying in Episode 6 was fulfilling Anakin's character arc of having him be slowly corrupted by Emperor Palpatine throughout the first 3 movies of the prequel trilogy, to then end up serving him all throughout 4 through 6, to then having him realize his own mistake, overcome his former master, overcome his master who was actually just, manipulating him, ruining his life and all that, to finally end him by throwing him off the side of into the Death Star reactor, to kill him and bring balance to the Force and save his son when Palpatine lied about potentially saving Padme. It was a beautiful, rough, but good in concept character arc that was completely undone by Palpatine coming back. I mean, what was the entire point of Anakin Skywalker now, if he doesn't kill Palpatine? What, is Rey now the chosen one? Did Anakin's sacrifice mean nothing? Because it just came back anyways and he blew up another planet and created another First Order. Like, what? What's the point of Palpatine anymore? Why did they bring him back? They could have done so many different things with this stupid movie. They could have had Snoke be alive, but no, Rian Johnson had to kill him. They could have had General Hux be the main villain or something. I don't know. They could have had Rey join Kylo at the end of Episode 8, which would have been the only actual subversion of expectations that would have worked there, Rian Johnson. That would have been cool, but no, we couldn't have that. We could have had the Yuzong Vong from Legends show up you know, that alien race which is entirely made of organic life forms, like their ships are organic, they are organic, their weapons are organic, are all living. It's kind of weird but cool. They could have showed up to take over the galaxy, and you could have given a reason for why the Death Star, the Emperor Palpatine built the Death Star, so that it's because he, you know, he saw the threat of the Yuzhan Vong in the future, and he wanted to stop them then and there. He just got corrupted by power along the way. That would have been cool, but no, we had to go with bringing Palpatine back. That's just such a wasted opportunity. I mean, obviously the biggest wasted opportunity might be killing off Luke Skywalker, not having on Luke and Leia in a scene, but that was more of The Force Awakens. And another thing, one of the few interesting tidbits from The Last Jedi that should have been brought over, and kind of was, but wasn't really done very well, was General Hux's power struggle against Kylo Ren. I mean, in the movie, you have General Hux being the spy that tells the Resistance about the fact Emperor Palpatine's back, and it's just kind of strange and goofy and not developed well. And, oh dear goodness. I mean, at the end of The Last Jedi, when you see Kylo Ren on the floor after Holdo pulls that stupid maneuver which breaks the entire series, he sees Kylo Ren on the floor, unconscious, and he's about to pull out a blaster to shoot him. When Kylo Ren wakes up and says, "Prepare to take a transport to Crate so we can take out the Resistance once and for all," and all that crap. And you see that they have a lot of tension between them on that battlefield in the Guerrilla Walker when Ben Solo's Kylo Ren's going absolutely insane, trying to kill Luke Skywalker's vision with all the gunfire, and then Hux thinks he's absolutely mad and says that's enough. Wouldn't it have been cool if General Hux was planning a coup on, Kylo Ren? Wouldn't that have been cool? You have Hux and half of the First Order, all the officers and maybe half the military, versus Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren and the other half of the military fight off against each other. They start damaging each other so much that the Resistance, who is in, absolute tatters and broken and whatever, can actually rally and pick off whoever wins that fight because they're so broken by the war against each other. That would have been interesting. It would have been also interesting is maybe with the Yuzhan Vong showing up. If that happened, you could have the Resistance and First Order work together to try and take them down. Or if you're going to bring Palpatine back with the Final Order, which makes no sense, how the heck did they escort a bunch of troops and admirals and train them out on the unknown regions where you have to fly through a nebula which could blow you up at any moment to train? I don't even know to get there. What would have been cooler is if he shows up during a battle between the Resistance, what should be maybe is the final battle between the Resistance and the First Order, and they realize their mistake and they have to team up and fight Emperor Palpatine. That would have been cool, but no, they decided not to go with that. It just makes me sad because there's so many cool elements to that story, Han Solo appearing to Ben to help him turn to the light side. That was cool. You have the whole visions and the Death Star, even though that was the way they got there was blech. That could have been cool. Princess Leia, sacrificing herself to get her son back to the light side, that was pretty cool. Luke Skywalker using the Force to lift the X-Wing out of the lake and after all these years that brought a smile to my face. That was awesome. Uh Could have had Finn do something like lead a Stormtrooper rebellion. That would have been sick. They didn't do that. Yeah. It's just such a wasted opportunity. Just so sad. Because, you know what, I think that maybe this is an unpopular opinion now, but like if J.J. Abrams got to do the entirety of the sequel trilogy, it obviously wouldn't have been some masterpiece. It wouldn't have been like the original trilogy. May not have the narrative cohesion of the prequel trilogy. But it would have at the very least been his idea, his vision. He would have probably brought out the Knights of Ren and maybe answer some questions, have Snoke be the actual main bad guy. Maybe it would have been like his Star Trek trilogy, which obviously for old Star Trek fans is absolutely despised. And that's fair. And the first two were good-ish, and the last one apparently was really bad. But it would have been solid. Star Wars would probably still be doing okay. It wouldn't have been the other disaster it is right now. And it's just kind of sad we never got to see that because Rian Johnson decided to completely ruin everything. Well, Disney ruined everything, and they kind of deserve to have that backfire in their face, though, so... Oh, well. It just really bugs me. Oh, you know what would actually really been cool? Is if Rey joins Kylo at the end of The Last Jedi, and throughout most of the movie, she's learning to use the dark side of the Force, and then eventually she turns back to the good. That would have been cool. Maybe with the Sith Wayfinder, they had to use two of them to find Palpatine, so Rey would have to tap into the dark side, like when, at the end of Season 2, or near the beginning of Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, when Ezra had to tap into the dark side to open and use a holocron to do some weird Force thing with Darth Maul. That was sick. Something like that. Just so many potential ideas. Just either not fleshed out, just completely wasted. You know, Poe Dameron being a Spice Runner could have been cool. That movie just makes me sad. Just makes me sad. Because I liked it. It's so bonkers. It's enjoyable. It's terrible, but it's enjoyable. But it just could have been so much better. But Disney got what they deserved. They really did. Right, so my battery died yesterday, so I couldn't finish the episode, so I'm back today. That's why I have a new shirt. It's not because I just changed it. Anyways, I have one more thing to say about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. You know that scene near the end of the movie? After Ben Solo turns good, he arrives on Exegol to face down Emperor Palpatine with Rey. Remember how he flies in on a TIE fighter and parks right next to Luke's X-Wing? Well, I cannot believe that in that shot that they have of Luke's X-Wing right next to the TIE fighter, they failed to use the opportunity to have Kylo Ren fly in on Darth Vader's TIE fighter and land it right next to Luke's X-Wing. So then you just have a shot of Luke's X-Wing with his father's TIE fighter. It would have been so cool, and I cannot believe they wasted that opportunity to do so. I mean, this is a movie which brought back all the fan service. Hey, look, it's Lando. Hey, look, it's Emperor Palpatine. Hey, look, Emperor Palpatine said the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Hey, look, it's Luke lifting an X-Wing out of the water. They have all that, but yet somehow they failed to notice that they could just use Darth Vader's TIE fighter to fly in Kylo Ren for the final battle. It would have made a lot more sense too, because TIE fighters in, canon, the Star Wars canon, don't have hyperdrives. And there is no way Kylo Ren's going to get there in time without a hyperdrive from, moon of Endor. Well, obviously not Endor itself, but one of the moons surrounding the moon of Endor. All the way to Exegol. I know, I think then later they explained that it was, in fact, just a special TIE fighter that had a hyperdrive, but I mean, it would have been a lot cooler if it was Darth Vader's TIE fighter, just because of the symbiotic connection, and the fact that we already know it has a hyperdrive. That would have just been neat. But no, they somehow messed that up as well. Just another reason why these movies were such a failure, and that one in particular. Just wasted opportunities. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with me, let me know. I want to know your thoughts on Star Wars in general. And yeah,